About 2 weeks ago at this point, I made a video called What Happened to Game Theory, where I discussed some changes I've seen to MatPat over the years, and some theories I had about the entire situation. Then a week after that, it got a little weird when MatPat released his own video called What Happened to Game Theory on his own channel. I was a bit confused by this, but then I kind of forgot. Then all of a sudden he drops a live stream where he spends almost an hour reviewing my video on him. So, what happened? I always thought of Matt as the kind of guy that's always been able to ignore anybody talking about him and he just focuses on what he's doing best on his channel. But for some reason, I guess my video struck a chord and he decided to make this live stream. And while yes, he talked about a few other videos, it's clear it was aimed mostly at me. Excuse me if this video seems a little bit more jumbled up than usual. I have a lot to go through. The stream starts out with him talking about how he usually doesn't respond to other people's videos about him, but he's making an exception here. He then refers to me as a hater for some reason.
Then all the rest of the videos we're going to watch today are me and you guys.
All right, you know, reacting to haters is a thing that a lot of channels do.
It's fun, right?
And,
yeah!
Well, yeah, we'll see.
In my video, I praise you for being intelligent, good at your job, and noticing changes on YouTube. I then go on to say some changes I've noticed on your channel and what I think caused them. I never even said these changes were bad, simply that I noticed they happened. Because of this, I'm not sure why you think I'm a hater or why you believe my video was really all that negative. The biggest one that most people notice is his non-stop coverage of Five Nights at Freddy's. Most people conclude it's just because...
Non-stop, guys! Non-stop!
Of course you don't literally make Five Nights at Freddy's videos non-stop, but there's no denying that you have made it quite a focus on your channel since the game's inception. I'm going to start sounding like a broken record here, but it was not an insult directed at you that you cover Five Nights at Freddy's a lot. Of course you do, they get tons of views.
If you look, we've done a fair amount of Five Nights at Freddy's coverage.
We've done almost 200 theories.
But we've done 200 episodes, and I think like FNAF is...
15? Maybe, if that?
Maybe like 15 of those?
You always bring up the point that only 15 out of the 190 videos you've made are about Five Nights at Freddy's. And while yes, this is true, it's a bit misleading since many of those videos were made before the game came out. A better representation would be how many of your videos have been Five Nights at Freddy's related since the game's release. And again, there's nothing wrong with you making a ton of Five Nights at Freddy's videos. There's no reason for you to get defensive over this. Moving on to the next point, they start to talk about what they feel their age demographic is on the channel.
Everyone assumes that FNAF is for the kids. Everyone assumes, oh, it's the FNAF franchise, it's kids.
Yep.
No,
It's
and
not,
people are
guys.
saying that game
It's
theory
not.
is younger and this and that. We are actually one of the oldest okay, so gaming channels, right? And you know we consult with a lot of people.
A lot of gaming channels.
We've seen a lot of data. We see a lot of analytics. We see a lot of the data behind these channels.
Yep.
We are actually, game theory is one of the oldest skewing gaming channels out there as far as viewership demographics.
Well, that's not saying much since I think most gaming channels on YouTube have a very young audience. Of course, a channel with Five Nights at Freddy's content is going to be a little bit older of a demographic than, let's say, a Minecrafter.
For the first time ever, we are actually going to show you guys the demographics of game theory. Now, let's look at the youngest bar here, which is 13 to 17. It's the youngest YouTube measures. So you can see that males are 9.9%, females are 3.7%. So we have 14% of the entire channel is under 18, you guys.
Oh, come on, guys. You know as well as I do that the age demographics on YouTube are not accurate. But for those watching at home, let me explain to you why. First of all, you have to be 13 years old to even show up on the analytics. Therefore, the 10, 11, 12-year-olds aren't going to show up on those charts. Secondly, it's well known across YouTube that people under 18 years of age always lie about how old they are when making an account so they have access to the age-restricted content. I've even heard Ethan on the H3 podcast bring up this exact same point. People that have a very young audience always try to pull out those analytics to show that they're older than they actually are.
Let's talk about like murder, like a child dying in PetScott.
Yeah.
Like it's a it's a channel, like if you're a kid, you actually can't really appreciate a lot of...
It's actually, and these are we talk about topics that kids don't cover in school until at least middle school or high school. We talk about psychology, stuff like dating, all of that stuff that you don't encounter until you're older. It doesn't actually make sense if you think about it for young kids to watch this.
Death, dating, and science are all subjects I've seen on Cartoon Network shows. And just to be clear, I don't think literal babies are watching Game Theory. They're still on the Minecraft Let's Plays. I'm talking about an age group up from that.
And the other thing which I know will come up is that, hey, you can't see data on YouTube under 13 years old, which is true, but usually if you have a big young demographic, and this is just a fun fact if you're ever like looking at channels on YouTube, what you tend to see is a massive spike of viewers.
Can you crop this,
that are
Jason?
Like 45 years old, and we have a few who are like 45 years old, but if you have little kids watching, you have this huge demographic spike of like the 40-year-olds, and we don't have that, you guys.
I'm sure that's true for very young children, around 6, 7, and 8. But when you get to the point when they're 10 or 11 or 12, they're able to figure out how to make their own YouTube account. But then again, I could be wrong. I think this is just something that we're not going to see eye to eye on. The reason I think Five Nights at Freddy's related content is aimed towards children is because, well, that's the only group that I ever see talking about the game. When I go out in public, when I see a Five Nights at Freddy's shirt, it's being worn by a 10 or 11-year-old. Is that anecdotal evidence? Sure, but I have not seen any sort of stats that would convince me otherwise. Next up in their video, they seem to get really caught up over the fact that I mentioned that they used to put scantily clad women in their thumbnails to gain more clicks. And honestly, this was just a passing observation I made. It wasn't an insult or even a main point of the video. But they seemed to spend a lot of time talking about it, to the point that it got a little weird. From his earlier videos where he always had scantily clad women in the thumbnails to try to get more clicks.
Talk about that.
Wait, is he saying that Game Theory is bad now because it no longer has boobs?
So it's actually the opposite. We should talk about this.
No more safe search! Going back to my late night searches!
Stop it, no!
Late night Game Theory searches!
So, okay. Can I actually, the boobs conversation.
You can talk about boobs all you want. She's like, no more boobs, Matt! Stop looking at the boobs!
She locked your computer.
Time we ever had a conversation about boobs in game theory was when Matthew actually did the very early episode on fake boobs in gaming. Actual experiment of that boobs video was, hey, if we do an episode about boobs, will it get like 8 times the amount of views? The reason why boobs were in those episodes was clickbait. Edgy.
I've actually never looked at porn ever, like outside of like...
There's no boobs on your Twitter anymore.
No more boobs in the Twitter. You want my boob thumbnail?
Yeah.
Safe search on. There were a lot of people who were like, why did you do the boob episode back? That was the earliest controversy on the channel.
Yeah, it was.
You need to do something that gets a lot of views in order to do other content that might not be as popular. I started to include more sexy men. That was the philosophy was, oh, the boob episode will get a lot of views and then that'll help the channel grow. And the boob stuff, I put it in there because I thought it's what people wanted to see and what would help make me popular. People are gonna click on for the scandalous like boob shot or whatever.
Yeah.
So I need to slap some cleavage onto people. Dan, can we slap some yellow cleavage onto Pikachu? Then we just shove it out there into the world.
Yeah.
Okay. My personal favorite part of the video, though, is when he reacts to me reading his tweets. Just watch.
Usually avoid posting adult links, but this is an exception.
Yeah.
I'm not antisocial, I'm just pro-solitude. When nothing goes right, take a left. Yesterday I wanted a burrito. Today I'm eating a burrito. Follow your dreams.
True, I was eating a
Hashtag
burrito. Awesome.
motivation. It's cute how they
didn't see
call
that one. I
them
like
missed
that one.
calls and
Thank
not
you.
avoided
I was eating
calls.
burritos.
Oh my... It honestly feels like I'm dreaming. Matt then goes on to explain that my theory that he has a new person running his Twitter account is wrong and he's writing all those tweets himself. And I'll take your word for it. I was wrong and my theory was incorrect. You got me. After a little bit more play-by-play of my video where they pause it every 5 seconds and comment, they finally ended the video with them accusing me of calling Matt gay. I'm still not sure where they're coming from with this one.
Go ahead.
But hey, that's just a theory. A gay... I'm not doing it.
Okay.
You can.
He's
All right.
insinuating that you're gay.
By the end of the video, it's clear with their non-stop laughing and passive-aggressive tone that they were clearly irritated by my video. And I'm really sorry they took it that way. It was not my intention. Since their videos always revolve around taking a look at a fandom and theorizing about it, I thought I'd give it a shot for myself by making a hypothesis about their channel and brand. I made sure to make it clear that I respected Matt and thought he was very intelligent and good at what he does. But it's clear to me now that he didn't take it that way, and it angered him to the point that he felt the need to make a live stream about it. So Matt, I want to end the video here by saying that I respect you as both a businessman and a YouTuber. I hope you make more Five Nights at Freddy's videos because your fans seem to enjoy them, and if you felt my original video was malicious in intent, I'm sorry, it was not supposed to be that way. So anyway guys, I'm going to end it here. The new Internet Mysteries will be up early next week. I have some things to do this weekend, so I will not be able to work on it then, but hopefully by next Wednesday it will be out. And yeah, this is... I can't believe that MatPat even responded to that video, honestly. I'll have a link to the full thing in the description. It's unlisted currently. I'm not sure if he's going to make it public, but he did spend almost an hour talking about it, breaking it down piece by piece. So if you want to watch the whole thing to see if I misconstrued him or anything, it's all there. And until next time, guys, thank you for watching.